it's still recording. I put it on hold, so no matter what button.
Technical difficulties. Just
Cool.
All right, we got it. Okay, cool. So a couple of days ago, Emma told me, oh, by the way, you're doing the opening speech. So typical. So we just wanted to thank everybody for coming out here. I know some of you came from a really, really long way away. And Emma and Grant just absolutely appreciate the fact that everybody was here. I know when Emma and I were talking about the final numbers for tonight, she's like, Mom, look how many people love me. So, so thank you. I know that Emma's been dreaming of this day since she was a little girl. If anybody knows Emma Catherine, she's definitely an overachiever. She has everything planned to the nth degree. I believe that when her and Grant got engaged in August, she pretty much had the wedding planned by September. I might even be a little short on that. So yes. So again, thank you. I just have a little something that I want to read. I'm going to get through it. It's not going to be like the vows today, maybe. I'll do my best. School bag in hand, she leaves home in the early morning. Waving goodbye with an absent-minded smile, I watch her go with a surge of that well-known sadness, and I have to sit down for a while. The feeling that I'm losing her forever, and without really entering her world, I'm glad wherever I can share her laughter, that funny little girl. Slipping through my fingers all the time, I try to capture every minute, the feeling in it. Slipping through my fingers all the time, do I really see what's in her mind? Each time I think I'm close to knowing, she keeps on growing, slipping through my fingers all the time. Sleep in our eyes, her and me at the breakfast table, barely awake. I let precious time go by. Then when she's gone, there's that odd feeling, melancholy feeling, a sense of guilt. Did we do everything that we wanted to do, but most we didn't? And why, I just don't know. Slipping through my fingers all of the time. I try to capture every minute, the feeling in it. Slipping through my fingers all the time, do I really see what's in her mind? Each time I think I'm close to knowing, she keeps on growing, slipping through my fingers all of the time. And that's from Emma's favorite movie, Mamma Mia. I love you, girl. Congratulations, Emma and Grant.
Emma and Grant, we all wish you a lifetime of love and happiness as you build your forever together. I'm usually not emotional. I don't know what just happened. May we bow our heads in prayer. Bless us, O Lord, in these thy gifts, which we are about to receive. From bounty through Christ our Lord. Amen.
I guess I'm saying something now. Welcome all. I really want to appreciate and show my gratitude for all of you being here. I'm usually not in this spot at a wedding, and it feels surreal to be the center of attention. But there are some main people that I want to thank. I'd like to thank Kim and Perry. They allowed us to have our wedding at the farm. And I know a lot of you might be thinking, why did we drive out in the middle of nowhere, get a bunch of bugs on our car, maybe drive through some construction, and sweat our balls off while we're waiting for everybody to walk down? After my dad passed, we spread his ashes there, and that was the closest place that we could be to him on today. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for understanding all the kinks of the day. Thanks for parking your car wherever you found a spot. And let's have some food. It's very good.
So, I guess it's time for speeches. If you don't know me, my name is Ellie. I have been best friends with Emma since we were 2 years old. So, am I too quiet or something?
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Anyways, I was also told to keep this PG, so if I don't keep it PG, I apologize. So, oh gosh, what do I want to say about you? I guess a couple of my favorite times that we've had were probably when we were younger, and I hated worms. I still hate worms. but she managed to convince me to go night crawl hunting, which if you don't know, they're like really, really disgusting long worms that come out when it rains. We would collect a bunch of those and put them in boxes and pretend that they were pets. And then the next morning we would forget about them until her dad would come out and have some words. Along with that also came when we had, what are those bugs called? Cicadas, oh my. We would always collect as many cicadas as we could and try to keep them alive for as long as we could. That never lasted more than, I'd say, a couple hours. But it's okay because we had fun, even though they kind of scared us and got a little too much at times. But, it's part of being a kid. And then we got older. We did, a little more activities that were not PG, so I'm not going to mention much of those. But I don't mean anything like that. I'm just talking about, what teenagers do. But anyways, I remember there was a day where Emma came up to me and she said that she had met somebody in one of her lectures and she was pretty attracted to him, that she thought he was super cute, and she wanted to reach out to him but wasn't sure because she was tired of getting her heart broken. And I remember telling her, and I don't say this much because I felt the same way as her, give him a shot. Reach out to him, give him a text. Whatever happens, happens, and you know that I will always be here no matter what happens. And that person happened to be Grant. And as the months went on, I saw how happy he was making her, and I was like, oh boy, if he breaks her heart, there's going to be consequences. But then years went on, and I saw the happiness continued and actually got greater. And I realized, well, maybe he's not the kind of man that I thought he was. No offense, I didn't think anything bad. But I didn't want to hurt you as much. So then the day came where I actually saw a moment where they looked at each other and I realized, they're going to get married. I knew that Emma knew it already, maybe Grant did, but I just knew deep down that you two were meant for each other and I had nothing to worry about. And if you couldn't tell already, Emma and I come as a package deal, so I kind of call him my adopted husband. So I am more than happy to say, Grant, I am proud to call you my adopted husband. And I am beyond ecstatic to see that you are the person that ended up with my older sister, because I don't think that there's a better man that she could have ended up with. So we could raise a glass to the newlyweds, to a happy life, and a happy life.
All right, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Abby. I'm Emma's matron of honor and a friend of both Emma and Grant, and I will be your host for the next 45 minutes. While I sat down and started thinking about Grant and Emma's relationship, I realized there's a lot of important numbers that get us to here to their wedding day. The first number is 50. On this day in 2071, Grant and Emma will be celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary with their 19 kids, 12 golden retrievers, and their many grandchildren. 17 is another important number because Grant and Emma met in 2017 in an intro to chemistry class. There wasn't a whole lot of chemistry between the two at the first because Grant wouldn't give Emma the time of day until many months later when Emma made the first move. 15 must be a very lucky number because on July 15th of 2019, Grant promised Emma forever. A year later, on August 15th of 2020, while on a catamaran, I witnessed Grant pull a shiny engagement ring out of his pocket that he stored in a dental floss container and asked Emma to spend the rest of his life with her. The next number is 2 because, of course, everyone here is celebrating the couple tonight. Grant and Emma are so lucky to have a room full of people that care so deeply about them. In my opinion, 1 is the most important number Today is the day where we celebrate the two becoming one. When things get tough and all else fails, you will each have the other in your corner to lean on for support. The final number is 23 because on this special day, July 23rd, we are all witnesses of Mr. and Mrs. Walters celebrating the first day of the rest of their lives together. You're probably wondering what all of these numbers mean. These numbers are pretty special to both Emma and Grant. I bought a Powerball ticket for the bride and groom, selecting these numbers in hopes that together all of these lucky numbers will be a winner. Even if you don't win the $174 million, you still have each other at the end of the day, which is extremely lucky. I don't think you two could have found someone more perfect for one another. So let's raise our glass to the bride and groom as we help them celebrate their beautiful day. Congratulations, Grant and Emma.
Thanks, Abby.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that was so much. Good job.
Hello, everybody. George, Emma's brother, best man. Yeah, well, thanks for everybody coming out. And I know it's not only been just today coming out, but the last 6 months getting ready and preparing and taking time off and all of these things. But for Emma taking Grant home for the first time, I remember coming out of my bedroom in underwear and no shirt, and my mom telling me Emma brought a boy home. And I'm like, oh, okay. And as time went on, he started hanging out. I worked there, I wasn't there. Anyway, he kept hanging around, and I'm like, okay, we'll see how things last, hopefully for the best, my little sister. But as time went on, he kept coming around, and I got to know him more and more, and then I got introduced to his brothers, ended up hanging out with them more, and he became not only my sister's boyfriend, but also a friend. But yeah, I got to meet Tyler, Justin, his mom, Kelly, and at the time, his father, who unfortunately is not with us, but is here in spirit. Terrific family. We took Grant in, they took Emma in, and all over time ultimately became a bigger family. Got the understanding that Grant and Justin and Tyler shoot a lot. That became fun. Got more into that. But I don't really know what else we want me to keep going and saying. But with not having much else to say, because I'm on the spot, let's raise our glasses and toast to the happy new wedded couple. Congratulations.
It is on. I know the night isn't over, but earlier when I spoke, I didn't thank everybody, and I wanted to make sure that everybody knew how grateful I was for them. So, a special thank you to Tom and Jen. Without them, this night wouldn't be happening. My mom, Jim and Kay, Kim and Nancy, Norman Adele, and let's give a round of applause for Noah. He did a great job earlier today, first wedding. Him and I were joking that we weren't going to be able to hold ourselves together. Noah and I grew up together. We went to St. Thomas More together and St. Joe's, and then he went to Xavier. I went to Appleton North. But then after that, I mean, the rest is history, man. But today, when we asked him, he thought I was joking when I wanted him to ordain us. But it worked out, and he did a great job. I'd also like to thank Kim Thiel, our photographer. She's amazing. And you all will find that out after today. TK Images, our videographers, Tim and Dave. These guys are all a family right here. I can feel it. And I'd also like a special thank you to Sam, Becky, and Allie. They are helping us watch our golden retriever for the next week or so. we are going to Cancun for our honeymoon. And lastly, our DJ. He's doing a great job, and the night is not over, but thank you very much, sir. Have a good night, everybody. How was the food? All right, and thank you, everybody at Thornberry. You guys are doing great work tonight. Let's get it going.
Hello. Hello. Hey, I would like to, if I could get everyone's attention real quick. I promise this won't be a long one. I'm Emma's dad, and I just wanted to say a few words regarding Emma and Grant. So, this is a day I knew would come eventually. Yet, I mean, even in this moment, I would say I'm about as emotionally prepared as I've ever been, which I'm still not sure if I fully am. The ironic part, though, is, their relationship has been excellent. Grant's been really closely connected to our family as we have been with Grant's family. So it doesn't seem like it's going to be that big of a change, just the formality of it. But, as a dad, when your kids are born, you want to do everything you can to set them up for, the most success in life, to have the best life they can. And, my parents did that for me. Jennifer and I worked very hard to do that for Emma and George. And I honestly couldn't be prouder of both of them. They're amazing people. I think they have some of the best qualities of both Jennifer and I. And, here going with the choice Emma made with marrying Grant, that just reflects this. The part I'd like to share was I wasn't sure if Emma would ever find that person. It was pretty apparent growing up. Emma is strong-willed. Some may say stubborn. I have no idea where she'd get that from, but she's very smart. But she also cares a great deal. She has a big heart, and I know where she gets that from, and that's not me. It's there, but my wife has much more of that, or she shows much more of it than I do. But when Emma was a kid, she had these Beanie Babies. The count somewhere was over 100, and it was coming into summertime, and I had bought a whole bunch of Band-Aids and gauze and this stuff, because at that age, summertime comes and the kids get owies and bleeds and all that, things that kids do. So I'd stocked us up on this, and we were gone somewhere and came home, and I don't know what tragedy happened to these Beanie Babies, but it was something cataclysmic. It was awful. I looked in her room, and literally probably 50% or greater of these Beanie Babies befell this tragedy in just dire ways. I mean, everything from arms, legs, heads, all wrapped up. I think one had a body cast, if I remember right. I don't know. It was awful. And my first thought was, oh my God, all this stuff was just wasted. Reflecting on it and looking on it now, from a different perspective and, looking at Emma, that is a part of how caring she was. Whatever she conjured up in her mind, why she had to help and take care of these Beanie Babies, this is the person she is. Something bad happens, she's there. She's going to step in, she's going to help, she's going to do whatever she can. And when you take that with someone who's really stubborn and really smart, and she knows it, who the heck is going to be able to deal with that? Who's going to measure up? So that's why I wasn't sure if we'd ever get here. And this kid Grant shows up, and I meet him. And the other added part, which I'll admit, I'm not always good at admitting these things, I'm not the easiest person to win over. And those that know me well probably are chuckling. But Grant, steadily over time as we got to know each other, he is that guy. Grant is the kind of guy that has the tolerance, the patience, the compassion, as well as the smarts to challenge Emma and be right there with her. And on top of all that, what I saw is a person who is very loyal, committed, and the kind of guy that will do the tough thing when the easier thing is right in front of you, but the tough thing is the right thing. And he does that. And that is in him. And I attribute that to his mom, Kelly, to his dad, who's not with us. His dad was a wonderful guy. And, I know he's here with us, as others have said, and his family, his brothers, everyone, just great people. I couldn't be prouder of both of them. I am incredibly optimistic and know that they're going to have a great life together. And thank you all for coming today. I really appreciate everyone coming out. I think this is so cool and such a wonderful show of support, and that they have so many wonderful people in their lives that really care deeply about them. So thank you. And please, let's toast Emma and Grant.